Right. So we will have another lesson to be discussed, which we will be having using complex sentences to show a cause and effect relationship. So the things that you need to attain or the things that you need to expect to learn no, in this lesson are the following. First, you need to identify causes and effects. Now we have a lot of example of sentences that have causes and that have effects. So later we will have that. Also, you need to combine cause and effect clauses using a correct conjunction. So later you will know the conjunctions to be used in combining cause and effect clauses. And lastly, you will also use complex sentences to show cause and effect. So let's try this first, these sentences. So you need to read we will read each sentence below and we will identify whether the underlined clauses are cause or effect. So write C if the underlined sentence or the underlined clause is a cause and E naman ang ilalagay ninyo sa inyong mga notebook if ito ay effect. So what's the difference between cause and effect? So pag sinabi nating cause sa Tagalog, sanhi, no? Sanhi. Pag sinabi naman nating effect, bunga. Sanhi at bunga. So we have here sample sentences. So the first one is because he played under the sun, his mother became angry. The second one is the street was flooded when it rained for several hours. Third is Mario got sick, so Luigi took his place. Fourth, the students couldn't go to school because of the heavy rain. And five, children were told to stay home after the quarantine was declared. So the underlying clauses, you need to identify them kung sila ba ay sanhi o bunga. So ang sanhi, lagi siyang nauunang nangyayari. At yung bunga, yun yung resulta ng sanhi. Halimbawa, um, halimbawa, naligo tayo sa ulan, 'no? Naligo tayo sa ulan. Tapos, after tayo maligo sa ulan, nagkasakit tayo. So, yung pagligo natin sa ulan, yun yung sanhi. At yung bunga nun or epekto ng pagliligo sa ulan ay yung nagkasakit tayo. So, ang sanhi doon or ang cause doon in English ay yung pagligo natin sa ulan. Tapos yung nagkasakit na tayo, yun yung epekto or bunga or effect na tinatawag. So dito sa mga sentences natin, you need to identify kung ano tong underlined clause na to. Is it cause or is it effect? Ito ba'y sanhi or ito ba'y bunga? So I'm giving you 1 minute to identify these underlying clauses, whether they are cause or they are effect. Alright? So time starts now. Alright, time's up. So let's identify the underlined word kung sila ba ay cause or effect. So, yung unang sentence natin na because he played under the sun or under the rain, it's a cause or ito ay sanhi. Yung sentence naman or yung clause na the street was flooded, ito ay effect, no? Pangatlo, Mario got sick, ito ay cause or ito ay sanhi. And yung pang-apat natin, because of the heavy rain, ito ay cause or sanhi. At lastly, children were told to stay home, ito po ay effect. So let's talk about each sentences. So for the first one, because he played under the rain, his mother became angry. So yung because he played under the rain, yung pagligo nga sa ulan, nung naligo yung isang bata sa ulan, nagalit ang kanyang nanay or kanyang mommy. So, yung pagligo sa ulan, ito po ay cause or ito po ay sanhi, no? At ang epekto ng pagliligo ng isang bata sa ulan ay sabi nga dito, nagalit yung nanay niya. So yung nung nagalit yung nanay niya, yun ang epekto or yun yung bunga nung pagligo niya sa ulan. Kaya itong because he played under the rain ay cause at itong his mother became angry ay effect or bunga. Another one is, the boy broke his leg when he fell from the tree. So, may isang bata na siguro umakyat siya sa isang puno, tapos nahulog siya. Yung pagkahulog niya mula sa mataas na puno hanggang baba, yun po ay sanhi. At yung pagkabali or nung nabali yung legs niya or yung buto niya sa legs, yun po ay bunga nung pagkakalaglag niya or pagkaka pagkakalaglag niya doon sa puno. So the boy broke his leg is the effect, and when he fell from the tree is the cause or the sanhi. Our third sentence is, when a strong quake or earthquake occurs under the sea, a tsunami alert was declared. So ano po dito ang cause at ano dito ang effect? So yung cause po dito ay nung nagkaroon ng earthquake or quake under the sea or sa ilalim ng dagat. At ang epekto nito ay pagde-declare or pag-i-inform or pagre-remind sa mga tao na malapit dun sa dagat na po pwedeng magkaroon ng tsunami. So, ang cause po ay yung pagkakaroon ng strong quake under the sea at ang effect or bunga ng pagkakaroon ng quake under the sea ay yung pagde-declare ng tsunami. Okay? So, yun po ang cause at yun po ang effect. Pang-apat, the town was put on lockdown since people keep going out without masks. So ano po dito ang cause at ano dito ang effect? Ano dito ang sanhi at ano dito ang bunga? So ang sanhi po ay or ang cause po ay noong hindi naglalagay ng mga face mask yung mga tao pag umaalis or kapag pumupunta sila sa labas. At anong naging epekto nun? Nagkaroon ng lockdown. So, yung pagkakaroon ng lockdown ay bunga kasi nga, bakit? Dahil hindi nagsusuot ng face mask itong mga tao. So, para hindi kumalat ang virus, nagkaroon ng epekto or nagkaroon ng lockdown. So, yun po ang cause at yun po ang effect. So, what is cause and effect relationship? So, when we say cause, it is the reason why something happens. Ito yung isang bagay na um, bakit, no, or reason, or dahilan, bakit nangyari yung isang bagay. At yung effect naman, it is the result of something that happened. So, ito yung resulta or ito yung bunga ng isang bagay. So, sila po ay laging magkasama, cause and effect. Whatever the case may be, the cause always takes place before the effect, and the effect always happens last. So, laging nauuna po yung cause. Laging nauuna yung cause or laging nauuna yung sanhi bago yung bunga. Kasi pag sinabi nating effect or bunga, ito yung resulta nung cause. Okay? So, there. So, let's discuss dependent clauses and independent clauses. So, ano nga po bang pinagkaiba nila? What's the difference between dependent clause and independent clauses? So, yung mga example ng dependent clauses ay, because he played under the rain, when he fell from the tree, when a strong quake occurs under the sea, and since people keep going out without mask. Ano pag sinabi nating dependent clause? Ibig sabihin nito, hindi nila kayang mag-isa. Ibig sabihin, ang mga clauses or ang isang phrase ay magiging dependent clause if hindi po kumpleto yung diwa niya or hindi natin siya maintindihan kasi hindi kumpleto yung diwa or yung thought or meaning ng isang sentence. Halimbawa nito, because he played under the rain. 'Di ba? Parang hindi siya kumpleto. Hindi natin maintindihan like anong nangyari after noon, 'di ba? Hindi siya kumpleto kaya siya tinatawag na dependent clause. When he fell from the tree. So 'di ba hindi siya kumpleto, parang may kulang, no? Ganun po ang dependent clause. Ibig sabihin ng dependent clause, sila hindi nila kayang mag-isa. Okay? So when a strong quake occurs under the sea ay hindi rin kumpleto, hindi rin buo ang diwa, at since people keep going out without mask. So 'di ba, hindi rin kumpleto yung sentence or may kulang sa sentence na ito. So that is dependent clause. So another one is independent clause. So kung si dependent clause hindi niya kayang mag-isa at kulang yung diwa kapag binasa natin ang isang sentence or pangungusap, si independent clause naman ay kaya niyang mag-isa. Ibig sabihin, kumpleto yung diwa niya. Ibig sabihin, kapag binasa natin ang isang clause na independent, naiintindihan natin siya at wala siyang kulang. Ibig sabihin, kumpleto yung diwa niya. Halimbawa, his mother became angry. So dito sa example na ito, alam natin na nagalit ang isang nanay. Okay? Buo ang diwa. Naiintindihan natin ang pangungusap na ito. Pangalawa, the boy broke his leg. Walang kulang, tama? At naiintindihan natin na may isang bata na nabali ang kanyang buto sa legs. Okay? So ito po ay independent clause. At tsunami alert is declared. Independent clause itong sentence na ito dahil buo ang diwa niya or walang kulang at naiintindihan natin siya. And lastly, the town is put on lockdown. So naintindihan natin na ang isang place or isang lugar ay nagkaroon ng lockdown. So independent clause. So ito po ang pagkakaiba ng dependent clause at independent clause. Pag sinabi nating dependent clause, ito yung mga clause or mga sentence or phrases na kulang yung ibig sabihin or kulang yung diwa niya. Pag sinabi naman nating independent clause, naiintindihan natin yung clause na yon or phrase na yon at buo ang diwa niya. So, complex sentences to show cause and effect relationship. So, complex sentences ang tawag kapag nagbigay tayo ng isang dependent clause at isang independent clause. So, ang tawag sa sentence po na ito ay complex sentence dahil meron tayong isang dependent clause at isang independent clause. So, pag pinagsama nyo po ang isang dependent clause at independent clause, tinatawag po natin siyang complex sentence. Okay? So, complex sentences to show cause and effect relationship. For example, because he played under the rain, which is a dependent clause, no? Dahil hindi niya kayang mag-isa or hindi buo ang diwa niya, kaya ito ay dependent clause, his mother became angry. Itong part na ito or itong party na ito ay independent clause. So, nasan po ang cause and effect dyan? So, cause or sanhi ay yung pagligo sa ulan at ang effect noon ay nagalit ang nanay. So, yung independent clause dito sa sentence na ito ay effect at yung dependent clause po dito ay cause. For the second sentence, the boy broke his leg when he fell from the tree. So, the boy broke his leg is an independent clause kasi naiintindihan natin siya. Walang kulang. Buo ang diwa niya. Pero itong when he fell from the tree is a dependent clause. Ibig sabihin, hindi buo ang diwa niya, may kulang. So, kapag pinagsama itong dependent clause at independent clause, we call this one as complex sentence. So, another one is when a strong quake occurs under the sea, a tsunami alert is declared. So, ano po dyan yung cause at ano dyan ang effect? So ang sanhi o ang cause dito ay when a strong quake occurs under the sea, no? May pagyanig sa ilalim ng dagat. At anong epekto nito or anong bunga nito? Nagkaroon ng pagde-declare ng tsunami. So yung when a strong quake occurs under the sea ay dependent clause dahil kulang yung diwa niya. Hindi kompleto. Pero a tsunami alert is declared is a independent clause. So, kailangan po may independent clause dyan. Independent clause. So, ibig sabihin na iintindihan natin tong underlined sentence na to. A tsunami alert is declared. So, that is independent clause. And the fourth one is the town was put on lockdown since people keep going out without mask. So ano po dito ang cause and effect? So ang cause dito ay since people keep going out without mask. Yung pagpunta sa labas ng walang face mask, ang effect nun ay nagkaroon ng lockdown. So, since people keep going out without mask is the cause, and then the effect or the result of it is yung paglalagay ng lockdown. So, the town was put on lockdown is the independent clause, and since people keep going out without mask is the dependent clause. So, para mas malinaw kung anong ibig sabihin ng complex sentence, a complex sentence consists of one independent clause o yung buo yung diwa, no? And at least one dependent clause o hindi buo ang diwa. So, kapag pinag-combine or pag pinagsama natin ang isang independent clause na kayang mag-isa at isang dependent clause na hindi kayang mag-isa or hindi kompleto ang diwa niya, we call that complex sentence. So these clauses are joined by subordinate conjunctions. So para magsama or para maging combined or pag pinagsama si independent clause at si dependent clause, meron tayong ginagamit na conjunction at ito yung tinatawag nating subordinate conjunction. So ano nga bang mga halimbawa ng subordinate conjunctions? Mga subordinate conjunctions na ginagamit natin um, to add one independent and one dependent clauses ay because, as, in order that, since, although, as a result, and so. So, or so that. So, itong mga subordinate functions na ito, or subordinate conjunctions, ito yung ginagamit natin para magkaroon ng connection si independent clause at si dependent clause para maging connected sila at magkaroon ng complex sentence. Okay? So, let's assess what you've learned. So, you need to copy the following sentences in your notebook and you need to underline the cause once. Ibig sabihin, isang beses natin i-underline kapag may nakita tayong cause or sanhi. At kapag may nakita naman tayong effect or bunga or result doon sa isang sentence, ay i-underline natin siya ng 2 beses. Malinaw po ba? So again, kapag may nakita tayong cause or sanhi sa isang sentence, we underline it once. Pero kapag may nakita tayong effect sa isang sentence or bunga, we underline it twice. So we have here sentences. So our first sentence is if pollution is reduced, global health will improve. So what is the cause and what is the effect? Because energy use is high in the developed world, people use a lot of resources. What is the cause and what is the effect in this sentence? Third, although people try to save energy, global demand for energy increases every year. What is the cause and what is the effect of this sentence? And fourth, future generations will suffer if pollution is not reduced today. And five, bike shares are becoming popular because they are a great way to reduce pollution. So again, kapag may nakita po tayong cause sa isang sentence, we underline it once. Pero pag effect ang nakita natin or bunga, we underline it twice. So I'm giving you 1 minute to do this activity. Time starts now. All right, time's up. So let's check your answers. So, sa unang sentence natin, if pollution is reduced, global health will improve. So, ang cause po natin or sanhi natin ay yung pagre-reduce ng pollution or pollution. So, kapag na-reduce or kapag nabawasan yung pollution, ibig sabihin nun, magkakaroon ng improvement or magkakaroon ng magandang resulta sa ating global health. Kaya ang global health will improve ay effect. So we underline it twice. And the cause of this sentence is if pollution is reduced. Okay? So, second, because energy use is high in the developed world, people use a lot of resources. So, ang cause po natin dito ay ito, yung paggamit ng energy, no? At ang effect po noon ay paggamit ng maraming resources or maraming materials ng mga tao. Yun ang effect or yun ang bunga. Pangatlo, although people try to save energy, global demand for energy increases every year. So ang effect po ay although people try to save energy at ang cause ay global demand for energy increases every year. Pang-apat, future generations will suffer if pollution is not reduced today. So ang cause po ay kung hindi natin babawasan or bibigyan ng solusyon ng pollution, syempre, sa future generation, maraming magiging problema. So future generations will suffer is the effect or the result if pollution is not reduced today. And lastly, bike shares are becoming popular because they are a great way to reduce pollution. So bike shares are becoming popular is the effect, and because they are a great way to reduce pollution is the cause. So as you can see, meron tayong mga subordinate conjunctions katulad ng if na um, pinagsama ang independent clause at dependent clause at dito rin sa panglima, we use because which is a subordinate conjunctions. So, meron tayong independent at dependent clause sa sentence na ito. So, ang independent clause natin o yung buo ang diwa is bike shares are becoming popular. At ang dependent or hindi buo ang diwa ay because they are a great way to reduce pollution. Okay? So, there. So that's it. Thank you so much for listening.